Welcome back, everybody. Cliff again, and without further ado, let's begin our campaign of Assault Red Horizon, crossing the Nehru. So, we're in intro Red Dawn. Gonna try to play a turn or two here. So, last time we drew our core cards, and in my little spreadsheet here, I've now put all our units in. Here's our core armor, our core infantry, core artillery. Same thing for the Soviets. And I've given each a unique identifier. Because even though the rules say you don't have to, I'm going to track every single unit. Because there aren't that many. And why not add some narrative? And let's go back over here. Yeah, back to Tabletop Simulator. Let's tip up the table and zoom in a bit, why don't we? When I get to like the Germans here, I've drawn their unit cards with all the stats. I've drawn the counters, and the counters I've used the labels on. So there's Panzer 4A, 4B, my 38T, the 3 half tracks A, B, and C, etc. I've done that for both sides. That way I can track each unit individually. Any non-core units won't be labeled by rule. The Soviets get 2 medium anti-tank guns. Those are 45s here. And they don't have a label, see? So I know those aren't my core units. And the Germans get 1 extra infantry card. So let's find our infantry cards here. It's down a bit. Just randomly pick one off the top. And it's going to be that formation card is, what do we get? 3 rifles, 3 half tracks, and a heavy machine gun. You know what? That's the card we had before. That's off the top of the deck. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to shuffle that. Because I had drawn that card and put it back, so it was already on top of the deck. Alright. 5 rifles, a tank hunter, a machine gun, and a mortar. And I get 6 more orders. So that rifle platoon gets added in for us as a non-core unit. I'll put it right down here. These I've labeled as, I thought I had these labeled as core, but I didn't. It doesn't matter. They apply to everybody. These I've labeled as core. Yeah, this goes over here. I'll put it right under here, under my infantry. Gives me 6 more of these guys. Copy that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to lock that down. I'm tired of it jumping. There. So those 6 come in, and I get 5 rifles, a tank hunter, heavy machine gun, and a mortar. Alright, 5 rifles. So, Wolfgang, if you're watching, these mortar units say heavy MG34 on them. That's not right. It should say 81mm mortar, because that's what the picture is. I think I got a tank for 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5 of those, and a tank hunters. Okay, they go over here with these guys. Alright, we're supposed to set up simultaneously. Can't set up simultaneously when you're by yourself. So I'm going to do my best. I want these tank guns to have good lines of sight. I'm going to put the first one here, and I'm going to rotate it and put it there and get this out of the way. They seem to be locking into the center here or something. Fun. There. I can put them where I want then. And this guy, I'm also going to put over here. Take that grid off. Yeah. Those guns have directionality. They're looking up. There. Into this opening. Alright. Then we've got a bunch of rifles. I've got anti-tank rifle. I've got a mortar team. And I've got machine gun. Those are going to be important. I'm going to put the anti-tank rifle over here. I'll put the machine gun down here, figuring the infantry is probably going to, if they're not mounted, be using this cover to make their approach. Let's toggle off that grid. I don't think the grid is set very well. I might have to reset the grid. I'll mess with that off camera. I think the grid is off. Let's just take a look. Let's make the grid visible. Yeah, see, the grid is off. I'll fix the grid. Tell you what, let's just unlock this map. Let's lock the map again. Turn that grid back off. There. I'm better now. Little things like that bug me. Unlock this guy, move him down. That's pretty good. Lock him back up. What can I say? The mortar, I want to have really good field of view. I like the mortar better here. Anti-tank rifle I'm going to use up here on the hill. I'm going to reinforce the center with an infantry. I want to have an infantry hiding behind the hill here to act as backup. Over here, I'm going to put the remaining infantry to hold the hilltop. Put the anti-tank rifle up here. If they come up to take that, we're going to have a welcoming party. here. So we can lay down indirect fire, we can lay down. Yeah, that's pretty good. The Germans, what are they going to do? We've got 8 turns. Punch the center out, and then we can decide which way we want to go, depending on what's going on. I'm going to run my tanks. I'm going to run a flank run. Let's try to be clever. Let's run this light tank over here, and the medium tanks we're going to run up the center. We got to aim these guys better. There, he's like that. See, he's just going to come up this way. He's going to try to take the hilltop. We'll give him some infantry to help him. This guy, we're going to rotate that way. And we're going to bring the other tank with him. I'm going to load up my half tracks. 1, 2. 3. Well, that's that. 3. Where do I want to put them? They're my shock troops. 3. With their half tracks. 1. 2. 3. Down here I'm going to have my unloaded. I want my mortar to have some protection. What's this guy? In the rocks. This is a tank hunter. I don't have any tanks to hunt. Heavy machine gun. Put him here. My rifles, I'm going to put here and here. And somebody's going to have to be out in the open. I'm going to be really crazy. I'm going to throw these guys on top of tanks. The Germans are riding on top of their armor into the face of oncoming Soviet positions. This guy is just going to have to be back over here. My infantry on top of those tanks is pretty vulnerable. But we're trying to act as shock troops and get in and take out the Soviet positions before they have a chance to really fire on us much. So we're set up. In planning phase, we have to first get cards. Over here we have some other cards to deal with. Here we got the Soviet action deck. We've got the German action deck, and we got a neutral action deck. I'm going to flip that. I'm going to label this Soviet. Well, not yet. I'm going to move Soviet up a little bit and German down a little bit so I remember. I'm going to flip that. I'm going to flip that. I'm going to shuffle these. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to put half of them on the Soviets and half of them on the Germans. I'm going to label these Soviet Action Deck. Label these German Action Deck. I'm going to shuffle that. Shuffle that. I'm going to take the Soviet deck over by the Soviet player. I'm going to take the German deck over by the German player. Okay, German gets 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Reroll an attack roll. Do that anytime. Activate 2 vehicles, one after the other in this turn. This requires 1 less action point, so I can do 2 vehicles. Good. Spotter. You may add +1s to a spotting roll. Alright, and over here, they're going to get 1, 2, 3. Reroll an attack roll against the vehicle. Remove a damage marker and mark this unit with a fast action. And remove a stunned or fallback. So we got to remember those things. Trying to keep them close at hand so that I don't forget. Put them right there by the unit cards so I see them. There. Okay. Now, how many actions do we have? We have the Soviets with their infantry. So they get these 6 actions. And they can assign those action points to different things. Well, obviously, we need to get both anti-tank guns firing. We obviously need that mortar. We need everything long range we can. Probably take a shot with the anti-tank rifle. It's got firepower going out. The Maxim over here might get a line of sight. I think you can already see him, so I'm going to try long range shot with a machine gun. And then I've got like 1 to put onto a rifle. So 1 rifle can take an action. For the Germans, we have the tank and both of these infantries. Tons of action points. We're not playing with the units here in the artillery. See, I've just piled the counters on top of the cards along with their action points. Okay, I need the tank here to be moving, both of these tanks to be moving. All 3 half tracks need to be moving. I'm probably going to put 3 of these on. Oh, I got to get a rifle card here. I got rifle 41s now. Let me get that card. Let's see. Stug, Panzer, come on, let go. Armor car, truck, mortar. I got a mortar too, don't I? Got a tank hunters. Got a rifles. I got a heavy machine gun now. A lot more cards. Let's bring those home. Okay, I gotta clean up here. Got rifles. Got the mortar. Got the tank hunters. And the heavy machine gun. And then I got these cards. Okay. I'm going to want to move that machine gun up. I'm going to want to fire the mortar. Probably going to want to put a couple of these on rifles in case I need to debark from my tanks. That tank hunter, I got to get under cover. The grenadiers are going along for the ride. Put one on the grenadiers just in case, and another one on a rifle. That kind of covers my bases. That's all my commands out. I got a lot. I should have, what should I have? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13. All right. We're 2 to 1 on our activations. So we ought to just be able to overwhelm the Soviet defenses. Alright, there we are. We're ready to roll for initiative. So the German player rolls a 1 and the Soviet player rolls a 5. Soviets first. And I'm going to have to stop here. Got other things I need to do. We are ready to move out with the Soviets having initiative. I'll put these up here so I can see what I rolled. 1 versus, that's a 1. Versus a 5. I get these battle dice out of my way. There. House cleaning. There we go. I'm good to go. I got orders. I got my cards. Got my command points out. The Soviet will be the first to go.